Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the Aloma Family Ministry YouTube channel. If you don't know, my name is Erin Blankenship and I am the Family Ministry Director at Aloma. Now I get to work closely with Pastor Travis and Pastor Rob with the kids and the students, and we've been loving putting out this new content for you guys, for the kids and the students, but we've especially loved putting out these vlogs for the parents and the adults. Pastor Travis and Rob have been doing an awesome job giving parenting advice and talking about how the impact that parents have on their kids, and some amazing tips on how to deal with stress and anxiety with your kids, as well as how to pass on your faith to them. Now, I, however, am not a parent yet, so I obviously don't really have parenting advice for you guys, but I am pregnant with my first child, and I'm due in July. And the time has been going by really fast, lately at least. Today I am 31 weeks, and I feel like in quarantine some days it's been like time is just going by really slow, but lately time has been going by really fast and it's terrifying. The closer it gets to this baby being born, the more uncertain and inadequate I'm feeling. And I'm sure that I'm not alone in this feeling. No matter what season you guys are in life, everyone goes through those times of feeling like you're not enough or inadequate, or you're just simply not ready for what's being thrown at you in the moment. Now for me, being pregnant for the first time, it's brought out some insecurities that I thought I had overcome, but apparently these insecurities were buried deep still. Now, I ask my husband all the time, what if the baby doesn't like me? What if I can't figure out this mom thing out? And what if I'm just not good at it? And I'm very thankful for a husband who is so attentive to my love language, which is words of affirmation, and he constantly and consistently reassures me, even when I don't ask, that everything is fine, that I am enough, that everything is going to be okay, we're going to figure this out together, and it's awesome. But even with that reassurance, I've been continuing to question myself and question whether this is the right time or if I'm truly ready for this season or not. Now, obviously no one is ever truly ready, and I know that God loves to use the challenging and uncomfortable times to teach us about ourselves and about Him, but knowing that doesn't necessarily change the fact that I'm still human and that I will always have doubts. We can always have doubts about the situations that we're in. But instead of going to God with those doubts and those questions, I find myself trying to figure it out for myself, or I try to lean on my husband for comfort and reassurance. But obviously he is human too, and sometimes you can't lean on your spouse for every little thing that you need. That's why God made us to crave more than that, and ultimately to crave Him. But so often when I get in these moments of questioning myself and speaking negativity over myself, I forget to go to God. I'm completely forgetting about leaning on the one person whose will is absolutely perfect. Why is it so easy for us to make turning to God our last resort? Or at least for me, it's like that. We try to find comfort from anything and everything else, and then when those things don't work, then we run to Him. And more often than not, I'm mad at God because He didn't show up when I needed Him, when really He's been there the whole time, waiting for me to recognize Him. It reminds me of that time in the Bible where the disciples were with Jesus and He fed the 5,000, and it was just this really amazing and awesome miracle that they got to see. And then they all went in a boat, and all the disciples did, and they found themselves in a storm. And Jesus wasn't with them. He was on the mountainside praying while they were out there. And then he notices that they're struggling and that they're on these rough waters. So he starts walking on the water towards them, which is crazy. But the disciples didn't recognize him. They thought he was a ghost. They had literally just witnessed a huge miracle from him, but they couldn't even recognize him in the middle of their storm. Now, I know that that's taking kind of a figurative view of that story, but I think it's so similar to what we do in situations that are messy in life or uncertain. We know that Jesus is the miracle worker. We know that God is always with us, and that if we are a child of His, we have direct access to Him. But are we completely transformed by those facts? Or are those just things that we know, like the head knowledge, because we read about it in the Bible, we've read all of these stories and we just know that God is there? Or our life group leader did a message on this. We can read the whole Bible and even witness our own little miracles that He does in our own lives. But if we don't personally apply what we've seen and heard, our hearts won't seek Him first. Just like I'm kind of seeing in this season of my life. We have access to Him, but we don't apply it. Therefore, we aren't transformed. I read in a book by Lisa Turkhurst, I love her, that any place where we have hardened our hearts or refused to let truth touch and transform that part of us, there will be confusion. It kind of like in that story of the disciples, they're in this moment, they don't recognize Jesus, and they're confused and they're scared, and it causes them to be scared because it's such a confusing moment. But they had just seen the miracles, so they didn't let the miracle transform them. Just like when we don't let His promises transform us, we'll forget about His presence and forget that He's even there. So this is something that I've had to remind myself, even today, as anxiety creeps in and I find myself in a cloud of questions and emotions, which I'm sure a lot of that is just hormones. But I need to make sure that I take my experiences with God and remember all of the times that He has performed miracle after miracle in my life, and trust that those promises never fail. I can lean on Him and go to Him immediately when I'm in a state of uncertainty or confusion. His presence is always with me. He's always there. I know that. I just need to recognize Him. I hope this encourages you. I know for me, it's a reminder that I need for every day in my life, that the things that I know are true, and that I need to be transformed by those things so that I can seek Him first and go to Him when I'm feeling these feelings of anxiety or these feelings of uncertainty or inadequacy, that I can go to Him and I can lay that at His feet, because He is my miracle worker. He is everything that I need. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you guys on the next one.